would take Pochettino and sack Zidane anyways, and I would take anyone since sack Zidane. Welcome to another podcast. This one is going to be the first one involving football here. We have Prajwal, who's an Arsenal fan, Sisir, who's a Manchester United fan, and Samarth, who's theoretically a fan but a Man City fan, because in practice they don't exist anywhere. Uh, very original, very original.
To the point.
Yeah, so today we're going to discuss about Premier League because it's restarting on 17th of June, if I'm right.
Yeah.
Yes.
And are you happy that you're going to see football again, or are you sad that Liverpool are going to win the league?
Bro,
To be honest, I don't
I'm
care
very
about the
happy
title.
that
So it's anyways out of anyone's reach. So what's the point? Might as well enjoy some
Yeah.
football.
Yeah, correct. Okay, let's start up with the questions. I want to have a roundabout their managers first. I want to ask Prajwal first.
Yeah.
Are you happy with the current manager, or do you want to do you see any potential in Arteta going forward, or do you feel that you need some replacement? He's just a stopgap right now.
No, I feel actually like he has a lot of potential. Like I actually feel he's like the correct appointment. Like
Yeah.
first I thought he wasn't the right choice in the beginning, whatever. I rather preferred Ancelotti or someone like that. But then like what he learned from Pep, I think he has impressed everyone in like the beginning few matches. So I feel like he is the right choice. And tactically also he's a pretty. So yeah, I feel like it's the right choice.
And I think the emergence of the Saka, Martinelli under him has been also been
Exactly. Yeah. They've been really brilliant. So yeah, that doesn't hurt us.
Yeah, let's go to Sisir. Are you happy with Oli?
To be honest, yes. One of the biggest problems with United has been not having sustained managers.
Yeah.
Not having managers for more than, Mourinho was like a panic appointment, to be very honest, and he excelled in his job. But to be very honest with you, it's a good thing that Ole is there right now, in the sense that he's trying to build something. He's trying to build something. The signings he's made, like Wan-Bissaka, Maguire and stuff, they're doing good. And on top of that, more importantly, the players he's sold. He's gotten rid of the trash in United. He sold Fellaini, he sold Valencia, he sold Herrera, he sold even academy players like James Wilson, who haven't been performing that well. He sold Young, Darmi and Lukaku, name it, he sold like some. And if we continue along that trend, and if we do get rid of the remaining burden on the team, I think he's on to something. Give him a little bit more time. And who knows, we still might qualify for the Champions League given the recent run of form. If we can keep it up, we'll definitely qualify for the Champions League. So, in all fairness to him, taking over as an interim manager, getting the permanent job, initially he was amazing. Then he slumped a little. And his statistics aren't that bad. Like, people unfairly criticize him a little bit. So, he's the right man for the job. And United right now have bigger problems to deal with than who to replace him as a manager. So right now, at least for another year, at least we'll give him. So he's the right man for the job.
Even I agree with you. They have bigger problems, but I feel on the long run, this might be a good appointment. But I think with the right signings, if you don't make the right signings, I think you'll be in the same position as Mourinho left off. And if Woodward continues to be the director of football, I think there are some troubling signs. Because.
Obviously.
So, going to Samarth.
Do we need to ask the question to Samarth?
Yeah, if you see... No, this is a different question, because Guardiola is the manager in the world, but the problem with every team who has had Guardiola is replacing him. If you see Bayern, they struggled after Guardiola left. They just won the league. Champions League, again, no good runs. Even Barcelona, I think Luis Enrique revived them because of MSN, but their mojo is not yet back. Same as Pep's Barca. So who do you think has the potential, or do you think because of the transfer ban it's going to be tough for you? The Champions League.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I think the ban is going to hit us hard if it happens. This week is the hearing, so it's a big week for City. A replacement is very hard to find. Obviously, you can't expect somebody to be up to Guardiola's level, but probably Julian Nagelsmann looks a decent manager. I mean, obviously not. He's going to have to change the squad up a bit. There's a bit of Deadwood emerging there right now. we can see. Some people are aging, so we're going to have to change a few things. It's going to be a tough one once Guardiola leaves.
Okay, we've gotten managers out of the way, and in Premier League in general, do you see any problems after some absence of football for like just 2 months, sudden absence? Do you feel there'll be any drop off, or do you think Premier League will be just hard as it used to be before?
I think fitness wise, first of all, that's the most basic issue, and that will be a problem. The level will drop a bit. I'm hoping Liverpool's drops the most, because why not? I mean, they've won the league, but why not? So yeah. So
And I have a general question for all of you. We saw Liverpool's model of transfer, right? They sold Coutinho and they reinvested it everywhere else, and they made very smart signings. Salah for 40 mil, and they got in the statistics company which helped some basketball team or baseball team, win something. Some story like that is emerging. How important do you think in going forward stats are going to become, and those not like goals assists, like smarter stats which actually help the manager and the scouts to scout for the players who the manager wants? How important do you think is for each? I think City have been smart with their signings. Arsenal to some extent in terms of young players, but I feel United have been lacking. So where do you think that it's going to be a big factor, or do you think going to be?
No, so United right now have the potential to do exactly what they did with Coutinho if we decide to sell Pogba. So now we can do it, but again, I'm saying that United's recent signings have been very good. The past 2 or 3, and let's say if Pogba decides to leave, or if we decide to sell Pogba, then our main weaknesses are right wing, CDM, striker, etc. And to bring in players like so the problem which United struggles with the most is being linked to everyone in the world. That's the biggest problem, because the moment they say Timo Werner has a release clause of some X amount, they're like, okay, United's in the race. Okay, they might have been interested for a point. And United in general struggle with that pressure, in the sense that if somebody else goes for Werner, some United fans will say, "Hey, bro, we were never interested in him anyway." Yeah. Some of them and some of them will say, "No, just to calm the nerves of the fans, they'll put out another story." Like, I don't know, maybe the most recent one, I don't know how credible it is, but the most recent rumor right now is Van de Beek to United. Yeah. So the way United in general lack the potential to replace world-class players. Like, once Ronaldo left, we haven't still found a replacement. And once Vidic left, we couldn't find a replacement. Once, pivotal players like Ferdinand, I mean, even the likes of Kagawa, etc. When players like that left, we never found replacements. That's been United's biggest problem. So I think spending all around, it plays an important role. But for now, I think the plan is to strengthen specific positions, as we have young talent emerging from everywhere for all other positions. So I think for now, we're good, but in the long run, it will be very helpful.
And I think I want to discuss one last thing, that who do you think is, like, in 5 years set the best for finishing above each other, or who do you think is the best suited for, like, in a 5-year project? Which team is right now well suited for uplift? I feel Arsenal is one of the best suited in terms of upliftment, because the Saka, Martinelli, again, amazing talents there. And I feel City, I think it's fairy tale is coming to an end after Guardiola leaves. I think that tough task of replacing Guardiola,
I think something very similar to United in 2013 is going to happen. Many players are going to leave. You won't find a suitable replacement. And I mean, I think you might struggle for some time.
And even Pochettino and leaving right now, I think he won't be in the market like after 2 years for sure. Like,
he's going to be scoped up.
So I think even Nagelsmann, Bayern are looking at him very very keenly, and there are not many managers who are like him right now. I think change in style of play again will require a lot of transfers to happen, and again rebuild a squad, which will take another 2 years. So I feel Arsenal are best set. What do you think? Who are the best set team for next 5 years to rebuild?
I believe we can do it with the backing of the board. I don't think Kroenke is the right man. He just has to, leave the club. I just hate that guy. Can't stand him. So if he doesn't back Arteta, I don't think this is possible. We need the right replacements in, defensive areas. So I don't think without that it's possible.
Okay.
I feel like United do show promise in that aspect.
they do.
At least 5 years, definitely United do show promise. I mean, if Solskjaer can take it to a certain level, I won't say he can be a Premier League winning manager. I don't think so, at least not at the moment. But if he can bring it up to a certain level and then push on from there and give it to a Pochettino maybe in a year or two. Again, Pochettino might not be in the market, but somewhere. I feel it'll be quite pivotal the next few years, at least, if we can consistently make it into the top 4 or top 3 every year. That'll attract bigger players. And United, the Glazers haven't always been kind, but I think they are far better than half the owners. So financially speaking, so I don't think it's gonna be a problem. I feel like United do stand a good chance for title contention, but again, football is very unpredictable. Two injuries can ruin a team. So but again, Arsenal probably, United, City, I feel are on the way down right now. At least things are not looking so good when Guardiola leaves, and that should be a City fan's greatest fear. And I think managing a squad like Guardiola does, he will bring in people he wants, but he can also work with what he's got. I think that's the best part about Guardiola. So,
and another, I think, Cecil, will you sack Oli if you get Pochettino right away?
Right now?
Yeah, if you say you're getting Pochettino at the end of the season, would you sack Ole Gunnar Solskjaer?
That's a very difficult question. I think it's harsh, to say the least.
No, would you think Pochettino is well suited? I think he has rebuilt Spurs to an extent that no one else could. And do you feel that same rebuild can happen at United with Pochettino, or do you feel Ole Gunnar Solskjaer should be given and then a better man, or some other manager should be taken over after 2 seasons?
So right now, I feel like it's a very tough call, but I feel like even though Pochettino is a brilliant manager, he might point in a different direction in terms of rebuilding, at least. So if Ole is thinking one way to fit into a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-2-2-2 or something like that, where we need more, we're thinking of more counter-attacking football, and suddenly Pochettino comes in and says, "Come, let's play possession." United players are not going to be able to do it. So United definitely plays with 40% possession and tries to play on the counter, even against smaller teams.
But they have the players to have the possession, right? Maguire is a ball-playing centre-back.
They do, but a lot of the players I feel won't suit Pochettino right away, at least. A lot of the only thing about Solskjaer is the fairy tale he brings along with him, that he is a Champions League winner, he's a treble winner with United, etc., etc. And to be very honest, he's enjoying a decent success rate right now, and he's started something. I say let's see where it takes us. So for now, I wouldn't jump at the opportunity, but I would be sad to make the decision. So
I would take Pochettino and sack Zidane anyways, and I would take anyone and sack Zidane. Where we should have been instead of, I think him persisting with players like Fede. I don't feel Fede is a quality player. I just think he's making up for Toni Kroos. I feel getting an hour or someone like that, and the Bale situation handling by him has been very bad. And I feel Zidane has been a good manager in terms of getting us repeat and all. But I feel right now we have way bigger issues coming our way, and Vinicius, Rodrigo, no one is solving it. So I would take Pochettino. I would take Pochettino at any club right now, actually. I would even sack Guardiola, because I feel Guardiola will leave in 2 years, but I think Pochettino with even 5 years, giving him 5-year contract, I think it will make sense for any club right now.
I think any club would be in a fix, to be honest, because Pochettino is a brilliant manager. But with whatever, like if you ask Prajwal, like would you sack Arteta right away for Pochettino? I mean, not taking into account the fact that he managed Spurs or whatever. I mean, it would be a difficult question to answer simply because they've all set out to start something, especially the newer managers.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean,
no, because I feel Poch is the best manager after Guardiola. I think that's my take there. That's why I feel Pochettino. I think Bayern missed the chance there by hiring Hansi Flick. And even Ten Hag is a good option. Even Marco Rosa.
Yeah.
And so I feel there are a lot of options there. And if teams are smart enough, we can. I think in Premier League at least, because there is a cash inflow, that can become a better attacking league. Thank you for listening. It has been I think 1.5 hours now. And thank you for joining me. And I think I'll end the podcast here. And please do share it, like it, and comment. Thank you. Thank you for joining.